I was talking in the last class, we were talking about it, and I was like, my back is killing me doing this all the time. And I was thinking, there are places on the campus that have the boards that you can go and write on, and it does that. And I'm going to try to figure out how next semester to find that. I've got to have that, because I'm going to have to start going to the chiropractor if I'm going to lecture this way.
No, there's several rooms in Corley that have
Are there?
smart boards.
Oh, okay. Maybe I need to investigate that.
I've never seen the professor use them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know there's at least 3 rooms that have smart boards in them.
Oh, okay. Where are they located at? Oh, they're downstairs.
2 are downstairs in Corley, like from the front of the building, downstairs on the left.
Oh, okay.
And I forget what the numbers are.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say there's one upstairs in the extension.
Oh,
269
okay.
or something like that.
Okay. I may start this summer, you never, when you come back, often things are all different. So I think the first week this summer, I'm going to be walking the whole campus looking for one. If I can find one, I'm going to switch to whatever room I can find it in.
I know the ones in the first level in Corley on the left. I know there's at least 2 that have smart boards in them that you plug
Okay.
on, and I think it's like it's like hooked to the computer system.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how much of a nightmare it is to use it.
That's another point that I would not know that either.
'Cause they look like older, like earlier model smart boards. So.
Yeah. So I want to show you guys this, and so I was going to do it in a video, but I think just doing it here is probably just fine. If you go to EPA, so if you go, here's what's funny, is you can search for it, and I think, it's a government thing, so often, let's see, oh, it is connected. Okay, so the other day it wasn't connected. Okay. So now it is. So it's EPA Water Research, EPA Net, and it's application for modeling drinking water distribution systems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Okay. Let's just see what happens if I do this. Okay. Oh no. I might be able to, there may be a way to do this, but okay. Let's try this. If I do this, let's see, non-installing software. Let's try that one. Okay, did it go? Okay, there it is. So, with this one, I may be able to, let's see if I can go over to my computer, this computer. I'll go to you, and what I'll do is create a new one, call it EPA Net. So this one is non-installing, I think, because this software was written some time ago. And because of that, it was at a period in which they did not, there it is. They didn't require, when you install, there's all these registry things that come up. And, I think Windows, maybe NT started that. So the reason I like to cover this or do this is that it actually has a good embedded, everything is embedded properly in this software, and it's not very well talked about. There you can find information on it out there. So if I start this thing, okay, so what I've got here, let's look at the manual first, so you can kind of see, give me a second to see where it was. Then you scroll in here. So there's the toolkit file. There. Source. Do you see them? Oh, there they are. There's an online manual. Okay, so it used to be it was a PDF, but I guess they've kind of worked this thing out. So what this thing is, it really works fairly well. Even though the code was written some time ago and it was written in Microsoft C, and it does have a graphical user interface, they didn't update it to be so modern that it's harder to install. And so if you look at this thing, you install it. Okay, here's an example. So what the guy has is a source of water, a pump, and then in this particular case he's got 7 nodes with pipes connected between them, and then a tank at the very end of it. What we'll do, we'll start even simpler than that. And what we'll start with is, okay, we need to look at one other thing in here. So I'm not sure where the manual, okay, emitters, we'll look at that, but we probably will look at that next time, but maybe this time, I don't know. So let's just take off and start doing stuff with it. So the first thing is got to have a supply of water. So you can do a reservoir or a tank, you can pipe, you can do a pump, you can add a valve, which that's for later, some sort of text you might want, and then there's a junction. So what I'll start off with is just a reservoir, sit it right there. Then you can double click it and it'll bring stuff up. Now what's really cool about this is this. It has an X and Y coordinate, and it's made its own internal coordinates. However, maybe I'll not go there yet, but you can do an import. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. Import a map, and what? I was looking for the mapping file, but let's see. There's also a way to import. Let's see, legends. There is also a way of importing a background image like a Google map, because it's for city planning and stuff. So let's add a junction out here, and then what we'll do is add a pipe. And sometimes it's really touchy as far as getting to, okay, I did it that time. So you double click the pipe. Okay, hello. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, sorry. So here's your pipe. So he has an ID number, a start node, and an end node. He has a length of pipe. He has a diameter. He has a roughness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to, how about 01? And here's, now the diameter, see initial status, open. There's nothing in there yet. And then, so you can go in here, and the first thing that'll probably happen, it says run was successful. Now, you click it. Okay, if I go to the bottom, now it's going to tell me the flow, the friction factor, and stuff like that in there. At first glance, you're like, what the heck happened here? Until, okay, this will take me a second. Okay. Oh, I haven't, this is the first time I've opened this thing in like 2-3 years. So I'm going to have to report status. Okay. I don't know that I want the full report details. Analysis options. So you go down here, and somewhere in here you got gallons per minute, your flow rate, and you get this head loss formula. Now what we'll do is we'll go to the manual. So Hagen Williams, Darcy Weisbach, and I forget what that one is. We've been using that one. So if I go in and run it again, you'll see, okay, you Now you can bring up a window that has all this. It still shows that. Now what I can do, I can put this junction and emitter coefficient, I don't know, 0.001. And we'll go back and look at what that is later. Then we'll run this thing. Oh, I didn't know that did I put an elevation? I haven't. The reason it's not flowing, I don't have an elevation there. Let's see. How about 100? I think it's okay if I do a 0 in front of it. Run was successful. So now you're going to start getting the friction factor's way off. The flow's really, so we apparently didn't put enough head on there. So let's go look at our units, because the units on this thing are really weird, okay? So what I'll do, HW, let's see if he'll, okay. Okay, backdrop, that's probably the one thing. Okay, identifies the backdrop and dimensions on the network map. So they've got, that's new. So there is a way you can, it looks like, backdrop a picture and have it actually be physical on there. But that's not what I was looking for when I... Okay, let's look. You got the Hagens, William, Darcy, Weisbach. We actually, I probably should be looking for that. Network model. So he should. Okay, so here's what an emitter looks like. So, okay, so an emitter. Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a weird thing to do. What's that thing called? Oh, I know. Rainbow. See if I can. Rainbow sprinklers? That's probably good. They may be listed here, but if you go to Lowe's, you can find them on the side of the box. Spray heads. Let's just look at that. Did I click it? Okay, here's one. Let's see what they might show us. They have them on the side of the boxes out there. I don't know what they've got here. Oh. Now, they got some stuff. So let me go back to the equation he's got. Q is equal to C and P gamma. So he's got this funny equation. Q is equal to some constant, the emitter discharge coefficient. This, the pressure exponent. And he's got that. So if you think about this, what is this? If you had water coming into some object and spewing out, it just so happens that whatever that is, their rainbird will be interested in the diameter of that. But what you're going to get is you're going to get a Q, or a flow rate through there, probably in cubic feet per minute, I don't know. But you're going to have a delta P across there, and that's what this is. And I wrote that as a G, but I meant to write that as a Q. So the question is, what does this look like? Most of the time it looks like that. So the key is, can you pluck this information off of the object to get that? The other thing you can figure out is if you've got a situation where you're saying delta P is equal to K V squared over 2G, where you have a loss coefficient. Then you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, so this could look very much like this. KL, different units, Q squared over 2G. So this is very standard So now I want to move the Q and the other stuff to the other side. So I want to say Q is equal to, take this, the 2G, over KL, and this just happens to be different units. It's just still a constant, just a different unit. So you've got a KL, and you got a delta P, but now you square rooted it. So this becomes your discharge coefficient, and then that makes this become a half. So now you can go and find, you can go in and find, let's just say you had a loss coefficient equal to, I'm just making up numbers, say it's 10. So 2 times 32.2 over 10 and square root, that becomes the C. Now, how do you pick this off of a Rainbird? On the side of the package, they have this out there. And what they'll have is they'll have this. So on a Rainbird, okay, so you'll see delta P and a Q. So what you'll see is a couple of entries on the Rainbird that has gallons per minute, and then the delta P, or actually what they'll have is the head across there. So you can back this C out by looking at the Rainbird, figure out what the emitter coefficient is. But if we just want to put in a value for right now, I don't know, 60 divided by, we could make it, I mean, I don't know, a C equaling to 1 or 2 or 10 or whatever. I don't know what that would be. What is? Yeah, I'll make it do that. I wonder if it will recognize that. It might not with the words back behind it. Oh, it did. That is weird. So it got a coefficient of 2.5. That's good enough, given the fact I just threw numbers up there. But let's go back to our thing. Okay, sometimes it's hard to touch the thing. Emitter coefficient. How about just 2? I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much. But then I had 1,000 foot. It's a long pipe. And the key is, what are the units in each one of these? And often they don't show you that, but there is a report table. And no, that's not. So if you don't mind, I'm just poking around at it because summary. That's a summary. There is a thing, defaults. Oh, is it still stuck on that? Okay. See what that says. That's still, they don't really, okay. You can change the color and put, let's see, there's a way of putting flow arrows on there too. Here, we'll make them fancy. And now you can see there's an arrow showing you which direction the thing is flowing, but I didn't run it after adjusting. So now if you go through this, you're going to get a flow rate through there. You can see those are, well, on my screen they're slightly yellow. Oh, they are over there too. So these are the things that were filled out. So the question is, what is the diameter, what is the length, and what is the roughness? And so you have to go into his manual here. So that's an emitter coefficient. That can be, okay, first of all, he says for nozzles and sprinkler head, gamma is equal to half, and the manufacturer usually provides the value of the discharge coefficient in the units of gallons per minute over PSI. stated as the flow through the device at a 1 psi pressure drop. So you got to be careful about your units on all this because there's a lot of inconsistencies. But if you work your way through the inconsistencies, you'll find out it comes up with the right answers. So it says start, diameter, length, roughness. So it has all this. Doesn't tell me the units yet. Okay, so here's your Darcy-Weisbach. This is the one we've talked about in class. Okay, the Manning formula. That's a different. So this is the one that's used for pipe flow most of the time. So there's your friction factor right here. And unfortunately, I wish it was the default. Here he gives you roughness coefficients, and we're looking at this. So epsilon in feet to the, so feet times 10 to the minus 3. So we got to be careful about that. So everything you put into the code, you have to work your way through this. So he has minor losses you can throw in. Now notice what's very weird. This is what I think is funny, is that, it's kind of a standard in the industry to use Darcy-Weisbach, but he comes up with the Huygens-Williams formula. If you look at, let's see if I can do this. Oh, no. Here, okay, I don't want to do that. I'll get rid of that, cancel, okay. So I don't know whether to go here or here. So if you go here, you find out something. It's really weird and bizarre. If though you go here, you'll find, I guess if I went to Wikipedia before, I'll go to Wikipedia again. So there's the F, the L is stuck over here, and the D is stuck under here, so it's kind of a little bit weird, but it's basically the same equation we were using. And then you, of course, see the first renditions of kind of the Moody diagram. And so you go in here, and this is all fine. So here's some loss coefficients he's given you. But you'd have, when you're in the practicing field, you want to get exactly what you want out of it. So curves, there's pump curves here. So if you look at this, look at what he's done. There's the quadratic pump curve. He put 1 point on it, and because of that, he ended up with the pump curve. However, in this, and here's your thing about his head gain from the pump, he's going to allow this to have a coefficient C, which doesn't necessarily have to be squared. But if it's squared, it works out very nicely in the equation. You can also, in his, you can have multiple things, have a weird flat part. So let me show you that. And unfortunately, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to put a node out here. And then here, I'm putting them at random places. So I'm going to put a pump between here and there. And then I can click this thing, if I can hit it, yeah. So you can do, so let's see. I think, let's see if I can remember how to go in. So I tagged that with a pump curve, and now I've got to go over. Okay, that's the pump. Okay. Let me see what the add, delete, edit. Okay. Oh, that's that. Map. Oh, that's weird looking. I guess you can't change that size. I'm trying to remember where you go. Query, graph. It can't be the graph. That's a time series part. Network line. Let's see. I mean, I guess I could try properties, but that's the same thing. I've got to put a pump curve on it, and then I have to go define my pump curve. That's the way it used to work. Trying to find the actual pump curve itself, because then that's where so your pump curve, I want to put in a curve, because you can just go in and put the speed or power on it, but I'd like to have it to be an actual curve. Let's try that. Now that's the status of the run. Report project. Oh, there's the backdrop where you load your backdrop. And you can go in and take a TIFF file or something. So see, it's been a while since I've messed with this thing. So don't expect a good lecture here. View. Edit. Let's select the object. And it's probably not going to give me anything else. Pump ID. Pump curve. Okay. I can't remember how you edit the pump curve. Let's go back to how do you get that to pop up? There's 3 types of informational objects: curves, patterns, and controls. Curves, EPF model. You know, if I felt so inclined, I could create a nice set of videos by going through it, because I've done this before. So there's your pump curves. There's an efficiency part. So you just got to keep poking around. That's kind of what I've done before. Options. Oh, wait a minute. That's the options, but that's not the object of the thing. Okay. How did I get that pump curve to come up? Because if I do properties, I get the same thing. If I do vertices, I'm not going to get anything. So, what did I do? Quit editing. Properties. Let's see. Okay, open, initial status open, and then the flow. It's probably something so simple. I didn't touch that one. Let's touch this one. That would be a delete. This would be edit. Well, now I've got 2 pumps in there. I got a pump going the other way. Let me just delete that one. So there's 2 pumps working against each other. That would be funny. Okay. No. Oh. So that's nothing there. Okay. Query. Can't be table. There is a way to put that in there. Options. That's flow. Okay. Help. Let's see. Help topics. Do a search. Pump curve. PUMP-CURVE. Pump curve. Okay. I think I double clicked it. Maybe I didn't. Am I not seeing? Oh, you know what? This may be the old help. Oh, wait a minute. If I double click it, go back to here. Search it. Rank. It just tells you that objects. Let's just go edit an object. Let's edit an object. curve editor. Oh, come on. It won't open all. There's no... Okay, so it isn't a curve editor. So, you know what? Let's see what happens. Look at this. Somebody else. There it is. I remember seeing that. Let's see what this dude has to say.
It's everything you wish for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing until...
Go away.
In this section, I'm going to add a pump to the model.
Okay, so you can obviously see there's a lot of... How did he get to the curve editor? Okay.
Properties that...
So he's got the pump ID.
This pump, which lists the starting node and the
That's
ending
great.
node.
There's the inlet. There's the exit. He's drawing things around, you
We
know.
have other pump parameters
How
here.
did he get to...
We can add for the pump, including efficiency and price. I haven't actually worked with those, but they are available.
Come on, man. Okay, he's talking about it. Oh, there it is. It was over in this
pump curve.
Huh?
And to do that, we go over to our browser
So you
window.
click that.
And go over to
Oh.
curves.
Now I remember. Okay, there's a whole section in there. Oh, wait. Did I not get there? Oh. Come on, man. I sure do get a lot of spams. You went to curve.
And I've got none listed right now.
Oh,
Use
he
the
didn't
add.
create one yet. I didn't create a curve yet. But now I have one. Oh, there it is. Duh. Curve ID. So what you can do is just put in I don't know, flow rate of 0 and a head of 100. I'm just making stuff up. And then, but you don't even have to do that. Let's see. You can just put flow rate, what would I want? 50 and 100, and then hit enter, and then delete that first one. Delete. How do I get the delete? I don't know how to get rid of that. Here, let's cancel that. Let's do it again. So let's say the flow rate's 50 and a head of 100, and then what he does is he gets you, so that'll give you the flow rate. So he's got 133.33, and then that times the flow brought it to the second power. So he will do something like that. Okay, so see, it's a good thing to have valves. I don't have any valves. Okay, so this was, I have a pipe. Okay, so there's my pipe. Curves, controls. There's controls where you can turn on and off things. There is probably somebody, let's try this, who has done EPANet. Okay, so here's how to add a pump. There's a pump. There is tons. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's a party going on here at work. Let's see.
Hello guys, and welcome back to Epic
There's
Mentorship.
some people out here who've done quite a bit of stuff. If you go out here and look,
Come to the
somebody
elements
that's creating a whole network.
in the
and
just click
you
on the
run
map,
it,
and then we
you
can
see all
show
the
the results
nodes
on the
network.
nodes and just print
That's
it
the
to
run
your
example.
report.
A junction
And the
of
next thing
nodes.
is we can, maybe let's say we want to see the results on the
junction of
links.
node, and
Okay, we
they're
click on
color
links,
coded,
and then we can see
and
the
he's got the
velocity,
flow
we can see the
rate
unit
through
head loss, we can see the friction
2%
factor,
You can
we
change
can see
that
the
right
reaction
there.
rates, since we don't have
Um,
period of 24 hours that we are going to
put a
consider for
backdrop
this
on
case.
it. He didn't put a backdrop, but he's obviously
full,
done an
and
entire network here.
Let's try to
if
see,
you're
to
going out
visualize the
and doing
results
this,
again in a much better way,
Quite a,
graphically.
you can produce, you can actually take an entire city and put on this thing.
Okay, clearly we can see the
What he's showing, okay, so the other thing you can do, and I've played with it, but I just didn't have the need to do this. But apparently, you can put all sorts of valves in your system, all sorts of stuff. You go in and open a valve at a certain time and close it. You can open it to a certain level. You can turn on and off pumps at specific times. So, to give you an example over here on, okay, so if you're going from the high school and you go to the elementary school, you can go around this arc over here, and I don't remember the name of it, but there's a water tower there. And at one point, this was back in 98 or something, maybe it was 99. Let's see if it tags me. What? Is it not connected? Okay. So somewhere, okay, so there's Main Street. Okay, it's going to take me a minute to figure out where I'm at. So, it's not there. Okay, wait a minute. Here's the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah, if you go down through here. Okay, wait a minute. That's 7. Let's think about that. Because there's the elementary school. Yeah, so somewhere right in here. There it is. So they needed to cut this off, and so this is a water supply. If you look, if you're sitting right here, so they needed to cut that water supply off and clean it out. And so there's obviously pumps in these things and everything. So when they were doing that, of course they paid for their software, but this software, you could transfer their mapping over to it. And I never did this, but they were having to cut that off to get in and clean it, and at the same time it would mess up pressures around it. So that when you have to do things like that, you have to have maintenance in a city. You got to figure out what's going to happen to pressure everybody's line, and then flip all the valves and switches and pumps all at the same time, and then nobody really notices anything in their faucets. And so. So in any case, you can do this with this. This software allows you to cut things on and off. And you can look at flow rates at he's basically pressure for node 4 and a function of time. And it looks like, I can barely read it, but I think that says hours. So obviously he made the system change and do things such that all of a sudden the pressure went down, and then it went back up because he changed a lot of stuff there. But the key is, I think, is just to let you know that this system does exist. If I ran it again, what would I get? Okay, warning message were generated. Status reports for details. Okay, so I think here, there's the network table. So I see a junction 1. I see the reservoir is losing 13 gallons per minute, but junction 2 is pulling out 13 gallons. Junction 3, there's nothing happening. The pressure there is 101 psi. The head's to whatever. So it says pump 2 is closed because it cannot deliver head at so many hours. So the warning is this pump is not working. So the flow rate through that pump is nothing. So you'll see stuff like that happen with this thing. But maybe next time what we'll do is we'll do a simple reservoir pipe and a spigot. We won't worry about how far, Rainbird is interested. So what Rainbird is interested in for their stuff is what the diameter is. So the water pressure, 15 psi, produces a I think that's a 3 right there, 3-foot diameter, water spray. And looks like it goes up. It doesn't go up that much. So it goes 15, 20, 25, 30 to 70. You still get 4 foot. So my guess is you'd like that pressure to be somewhere around 15. But if you do this, you can plot this. You can make a curve and plot that. And then get your pressure and convert that pressure to the radius, because you've probably seen that where somebody's sprinkler's just like doing this. And over here it's spraying a lot. So you want your pressures to kind of be even throughout the system. So anyway, this is let me see if I can find, where was the original? Okay. This was the piece of software that they developed. It actually, okay. Well, I guess that's it. So it was unique because it was written a long time ago, and it sort of stayed dormant for about 6 or 7 years. And then 9/11 happened, and they were terribly concerned about people poisoning or putting pathogens in the water supply. So if you get down in here, you'll find there is models for chemical species transport. Here it is, multi-species extension, that were added after that. So you'll notice there's a programmer's toolkit. They refurbished this research unit, added more employees, and then the development started in earnest on chemicals transport. And you can see the multi-species extension software and user manual. So this is in case and you already have this in water supply, you'll have injections of chlorine. And when you have an injection of chlorine, if you drank the water right there, it would taste bad. But if it moved downstream and it had some time to dissipate, you just taste a weird aftertaste. But you don't get sick because you got rid of the bacteria stuff in there. And so, anyway, I should have looked at this, but controls. Here you can do a rules-based, a simple control, curves. I got my pump curve. There's the one pump curve. I can do something like, let's see. Let's see if I move this up to 1,000 and hit enter. Let's see what. This is crazy, but here I'm going to run it again. This time it says the run was successful. And let's see if I can find. I don't want to query anything. I want to just look at the. So what happened now? Junction 2 it still didn't. So the head at junction 3, oh, you know why? I don't have a coefficient there. Okay, so the valve is closed off. Here, I'll just put in a 1. So you look at it now, I should get something out of it. Yeah, so now I have the flow rate out of the reservoir of 37 gallons per minute. 24 is spewing out, 13 is spewing out on the ground there at that junction, and 24 is spewing out on the ground, or wherever, at this other junction. So there's a water supply here, and then here, let me look at it again. Looks like so I ended up with a lot of water spewing out at that junction down here. I can mess with the pump curve and reduce that. Let's see. So let's see if I do this like 50. And what's funny, You can really monkey with this thing. So you look at that, and then you get, there's not as much water spewing out there now. And I could even make it, here I can make it like almost, so the head of 5 here. Let's just make the pump very tiny. Doesn't do much. Run it. Okay, run was successful. And then go back and look at the thing. And so the pump didn't add much energy, but still the reservoir is, you know, it's putting a back pressure on it too. You notice 100. The reservoir's at 100. The head at that thing, but the pump only added 6.63 feet ahead at that point. So it didn't do much. So we'll monkey with this a little bit.
So you can use that for any scale, whether it be a 2-foot pipe and a little reservoir.
Yeah.
A 10-mile pipe with whatever.
Yeah. You can do anything you want with it. It looked like maybe, I'm not saying this as a quote, but it looked like that somehow they could tie. In other words, I have done this before, where I've gone out. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Let's say you just did. Let's say, how do you do this? Okay. Snippet tool. So let's say you went out to a Google map and you grabbed that map, and then you did a save to, no, save as. I don't know. Yeah, sounds good to me. It doesn't really matter. And then, I don't have it running anymore. Okay, so let's say I ran it. Now, I saw it. Where was it? No, it was project. Well, I guess I have to put something down first. Maybe? I don't know. Where was it? Backdrop. Where did that? Okay, there it is. I was looking too high. Load. See, my eyes aren't very good anymore. Okay, I think if I did that, it would probably put it in downloads or documents. Where the heck did it save that? Okay, snippet. Where the heck did it save that stupid thing? Okay, come on, go away. Go. We don't want that anymore. Where did the snippet go to? Save as. Pictures. I would not put it in pictures. I wouldn't even think about doing that. Pictures. Oh, it doesn't want it wants a bitmap. Okay. We can oblige.
I think it's showing all files.
Oh, well. Well, we'll do both of those. Yeah, let's see all files. Oh, it won't. You're kidding me. Well, I guess I can. Did it have an option to save it as a bitmap?
I bet it does.
Oh, you're kidding me. Let's just try that and see what it does. I mean, maybe I could force it. I don't know. I have no idea. Hey, well, it got something there. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Could not read it.
But you'd have to open it up in an editor and then save it as a bitmap.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. There are things like that that just drive you nuts. But you can put that in and you can have a backdrop there. I wonder, just out of curiosity, there is a, let's try this. Okay. Is it this? No, it's not that. That. Okay. Now where did it go? Okay, here. I'm going to try this. There it is. Isn't that ridiculous? Now this, I know I should be able to do that. Aha. Well, where'd that get? Oh, there it is. And it's, here, we're going to put that in the pictures as well. Okay, now, golly, what a pain. Backdrop, load. Okay, wait, was it this one?
Yeah, and that one.
Okay. Then you could go in here and you could take your, like, let's say you had a reservoir. Hang on, where's, I could try to get that thing. So let's say you wanted your reservoir to be at the place where that, oh no, I didn't put it in there right, did I? Is the reservoir not there? Where's the reservoir?
Middle, lower, middle.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, now I can see that. I can put the reservoir right there. No, I gotta click it. Come on, follow me. Follow me with you. There you go. So you put your reservoir there. So there's your reservoir. And you can do stuff like this. And you could say, hey, the dude has some water coming out of his faucet, and he's got some coming out of his faucet, and he got some coming out of that, and that one, and that one. Then you gotta draw your pipes between them. Oh gosh, I'm not, see, that's the problem. Sometimes it's so hard to manage all this. And so what I had figured out before is how you could map the distance. So this is the coordinate here and the coordinate here. Just from first glance, they may have made that so that you can line the positions up and it would automatically do the pipe lengths for you. Because every pipe link you drop, here's what's funny. You go in here and, oh man. So you look at the pipe, notice they're all 1,000 long. So the default is they drop them 1,000 and have that roughness and everything. So you got to adjust everything. It's a pain in the you know what.
That seems a strange default to get 1,000
Yeah,
feet.
yeah. So it looked to me